muted. There we go. I'll figure out how to do this eventually. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Now I'm here. Now everyone can hear me. Now we're doing stuff. Yeah. I'm muted, no sound. Now you can hear me, though, right? Everyone can hear me now, right? Someone give me Jared, you give me a thumbs up? Anybody? Yeah. Sweet. Okay. Anyway, here we are. Welcome to Backstage. Things are already off to a fantastic start, as always. Today is Steve's laboratory, which means you guys are all my guinea pigs. Why am I breathing so hard? Because I just ran back from the kitchen. Oh, thank you. You know what, Cal? I'm going to use that opportunity to just give myself a second to breathe. I forgot my ice for the drink. I was rushing, as always, to get this started because for whatever reason, I always put it on an arbitrary timeline. And I always forget like 10 other things I want to do. Because, I just want to like test stuff here, right? And so I have all these ideas, and then I only end up having time to like put one or two of them together, which kind of sucks. Also, let me know if the music in the background, if you can even hear it, because I can hear it like just barely, and I kind of dig just having like a little bit of background music. So I'll keep that there. But if it's too much, let me know. I'll turn it down. But that's what this is for. This stream is the, hey, Steve, turn the music down for that. So then I know kind of what level to turn music down if I ever want to do music for shit on the big show, right? On Ken's show. So, yeah, you can hear it, but can you hear it too much, Brady? That's the thing. You know what I mean? Is it like over top of me? Because I don't want to talk loud. I talk loud as it is. All right. Jared says it's nice. Well, you have your opinion's valid, Jared. I appreciate that. Okay, good. It's low, not too much. Excellent. All right. So anyway, but that's what this is, right? So that's kind of what I want to do. Do some of this. I've got some sounds and stuff I'm going to test out when we take some calls. We can spin the wheel if we want to have fun with that. I got a couple things I'm going to talk about here off the top before we start bringing folks in. But I think I've got the call link pinned. Yeah, I do. Yeah, Jared's in here already. So go ahead and hop in. We're not doing a 3-hour stream, Jared. It's not going to happen. I promise you. I swear to God, it's not happening. I have to work and be a responsible adult tomorrow. So anyway, and might do some gaming tonight too. So whether we do that on stream is another story. I've got set up stuff to figure out for that. But so who knows? I mean, this is like I said, Steve's laboratory. This stream might not even exist tomorrow. So I'm sorry, Addie, if you went to bed. Anyone who's watching this later on, depending on how this goes, I might just scrub all existence of this. And if you're here live, then you got to experience the lost episode. But we'll see how it goes. We want to. Yeah, the director's cut. That's exactly right. That's exactly right, Brady. We want to test some stuff out. But yeah, no, I got some stuff I want to talk about. Don't want to give away too much of the goods, right? That's for the big show tomorrow on Thursday. As far as like all the takes and stuff, but not that anything I say really matters. I'm just a dude. But no, we're gonna test some stuff out. I want to see kind of what I want to know, like what kind of games people would want to play, because I want to do different stuff here on Backstage. I've talked about that a little bit. I don't want to just do another version of Ken's show, right? Like I don't want to just that's not what I'm trying to do necessarily. I want to test ideas that we can do on that show, but I also want to do I want to play games. I want to play games with you guys. I want to do like community kind of stuff. This is just a place to like chill and hang out. So those kinds of, what are the kinds of things that you guys would want to see like on your second screen while you're doing shit? That kind of stuff. That's what I want to hear. So, but also calling in, having people hang out. Beer hours, all that kind of stuff. So anyways, no beer tonight, actually. Didn't go to the grocery store. So producer Steve just has a glass of whiskey here in my Star Wars glass. And I'm also drinking, not chasing because I just kind of drink it with it, but I found to be really good with this whiskey is occasionally a little ginger ale. So I'm having that on the side as a little sweetener. But anyway, Steve is an innovator. I try to be, Cal. I mean, again, I'm just trying to do. Better be that Jack. No, it's not Jack Daniels. It was gifted to me. This whiskey was gifted to me. It's I want to say it's Patty's. I don't remember what I poured it into that Stormtrooper helmet you see behind me and threw everything else away. So it's a long story. But anyway, Steve, you see the NBA scorelines? I've got the game on behind me. I've got both games on behind me, the hockey and the basketball. Sorry, I keep moving away from the microphone. I have not seen what the score is right now. Woof. Goodness. 73-43 for those wondering at home. The Thunder are leading the Timberwolves. Okay, well, the Thunder are going to be in the NBA Finals, it looks like. And we've got a really good hockey game on as well. Wow, with the Panthers and the Hurricanes 3-2 at the end of the second. So that's your sports update. Not going to do the rest of it because I don't want to get sued. No, that's another thing I want. Like, that's another idea I had is if there's like, especially during football season, the NBA Finals would be great if I can kind of get all the stuff together, like the assets and together for it. But like watch-alongs or like after shows, stuff like that. Well, that's one of my ideas, especially for post Blather shows is like an after the Blather kind of show. So we go live on the Backstage after Ken's show on like the Saturdays or something like that. When he only does like an hour, when Ken does like his hour of power calls where it's only like 1 hour quick calls, after that's over, we go on the Backstage. So the people who either didn't get to get everything they want to, it's like I said, it's the post game. So yeah. Are there any Bryce Harper injury updates? Let's see. I don't know. That's a good question. Brady, you're our baseball and basketball guy. We're gonna have to. I don't know. I'll have to look on that. Someone get on that. I need a producer for my show. Shady, here's my producer. Oh well, there he is. And he's not exactly gonna get on the research anytime soon. So, and Jared says he's just here so he doesn't get fined. That's fair. So that's the kind of stuff we got going on. I'd love to do more sports stuff. I'm just not ready for it yet. We just haven't had time to like put shit together. Producer Steve had a hell of a weekend. It was very bad, very, very bad weekend. I don't want to get too personal onto things, but family in the hospital. Everyone's okay now, but it was just a long, arduous weekend. Did not get to enjoy my my hot dogs on the water like a lot of us do on Memorial Day. But anyway, Cat says, "Should you ever awake?" Yeah, he is. I mean, he's an 11-year-old black lab, so he's not awake very often, but in short bursts, he'll get you, man. He'll still go after it. But no, at this time at 10 o'clock at night, he's doing a lot of that. So, but he's got BB-8 hanging out with him. He gets it. So, anyway, what the hell was I talking about before we were interrupted about sports? Stuff we were gonna do. Oh, the Jack Daniels. Oh yeah, this was what I was drinking is Patty's whiskey. Like I said, I don't know what the hell that is. It was gifted to me from a former boss. So free whiskey is really good whiskey. Doesn't really matter what kind it is, right? Anyway, Svetnik says, I keep forgetting to do this with the questions. This is why we're here. I got to remember to do this shit. How many screens do you have? We need a producer Steve office tour. All right. Okay. I'm down for that. Let me figure out the best way to do that. I think here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to join StreamYard again on my iPad. I'm going to vamp here for a second. I'll join StreamYard on my iPad, and I'll give you guys we'll do a MTV Cribs version of Producer Steve's office. How's that sound? Just real quick, so you guys can see my POV thing. Oh, that's actually something I wanted to bring. I'm not gonna give that juice off today as far as a talking point, but TikTok. I have TikTok takes because I just used TikTok in earnest for the first time this week. It's a long story. I'm writing that down right now because we're gonna talk about that tomorrow. I can't get that up here. Not yet, at least, because there might actually be something funny to talk about that. I see Jared laughing in the background. Oh, no, nothing to do with the... And, no, it's Fetnik. No, I appreciate you asking. Long story. Everyone's okay. Let's see. But hospital food sucks. But shout out to the people who took care of us. Very, 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 very grateful. Let's see here. I'm going to join StreamYard. I'm going to make sure my shit is so muted. And see if we can get in here. Because if I can, then that would actually be super easy to do. And now I know how to do this later on. So one of my ideas or one of my plans that I have is to do a wireless mic like that. I have a phone. I have an iPhone that is an old iPhone that still has a good camera that I can use with the with OBS and do a camera switch just like I do with the Shady Cam, right? Except that cam I can. Oh, you know what? I could just move the Shady Cam around, but that also requires some work. I'm glad we like the music because I like it too. Okay, cool. Steve too is in the studio. He's muted. We're gonna keep him muted. There he is. All right, so folks, I'm gonna try to not like dox myself too much here, but too loud. Turn them out. We turn the volume off. We figured it out. All right, so this is my Chewbacca Snuggie. So this is hold on, let me make sure everything's all good to go here. All right, this is the setup plus the iPad that you see. So that's Steve's POV. Okay, I'll just give you a quick scan. There you go. Okay, I'm gonna turn this off now because I'm like so disoriented. You have no idea. Like my brain is like hurting because I don't know what camera to look at, and there's different screens. And here we go. All right, we're good. So there you go. That's it. That's the producer Steve. Yes, touchgrass. I get it, Jared. You don't understand. I work from home. I dropped mine. I work from home. I have a daughter who's almost 2 years old. My wife is a teacher. I don't get out much. Live in the suburbs. I'm very fortunate to be a homeowner out in the suburbs, have my own little piece of land so my dogs can run around. I'm good, man. That's it. I'm good. I'm happy. I have my own little town we can go into and drink beer on the weekends and go to little restaurants. That's it. That's all I need. I'm good. I had fun. So we're here now. Is that a curved monitor, says Brady? Yes. Yes, it is a curved monitor. I'm not going to brag too much, but yes, big ultra wide. If you can go ultra wide, freaking game changer, man. It is the freaking best. I love Mel. I've saved up so long to fucking get that thing, and I found it open box at Micro Center. Thing was like so cheap, dude. It was like, guy thought it was too thin. That's why he brought it back. I was like, you sucker. Your issue is my reward. Anyway, so we got calls lined up. I'm gonna get to you guys soon. Just a few little things I wanted to talk about, kind of put as like segment ideas on here, kind of. Good news, bad news is always, and again, these are kind of also ideas that I can pull up with Ken, like in addition to like 16 seconds with sports, or just ways to move things along in the show. But like good news, bad news, trying to like pick out news stories from the day that we saw that are important, but also not always just doom scrolling. I also like coolest thing I saw today, and that's also that's the topic for the call-ins today. So if you call in, I want to hear about the coolest thing you saw today, whether it's in person, online, heard about it. Just spread a little joy. That's the idea there. And then another thing I've got an idea for kind of going forward is what I want to call sports for nerds, which is me sharing, I don't know, just that putting together that world that I think is slowly getting more and more together, certainly more than it used to be. But as you can see, I've got all this Star Wars shit behind me, but I'm also like a huge sports guy. So I think there's so many things that we can learn from each other. And there's so many interesting sports metaphors and analogies, especially that you can apply to like Star Wars and all the different stories that we like, that I think are so fun, that don't get talked about as much, because traditionally a lot of those voices are not always having the same conversations, right? So anyway, so I think there's fun stuff there. I think there's fun stuff to do there, fun conversations to have that people are interested in. So Cal says Steve likes sports. Yeah, go figure. Anyway, if you are interested in calling in, the link is, I believe, pinned. I did that. Yes, I did. It's pinned up there. So come hang out with us. I'm going to test some stuff with you guys when we get on the calls, especially the soundboards. And I don't think we're going to get into any gaming tonight. We might, depending on timing. That takes like I wanted to do it over the weekend with Battlefront, because I saw Battlefront 2 was popping off. And I saw that they covered it over on Force Center. That Battlefront 2 had like a huge resurgence. They had something like, I think, 18,000 concurrent players on Steam, which is just PC. And there's a ton of people who play Battlefront on console. So that's impressive. I still don't think they're going to get Battlefront 3 made. I don't think it matters at all, but good luck to them. I hope it happens. Yeah, Brady, you make a good point. Here's my ADD going off. George Lucas was a sports fan too. Yeah, and that's exactly what I mean. Like, that's why there's so many cool little sports nuggets that we can talk about. I could do a whole thing about sports and Star Wars, just from like the team camaraderie and like kind of the little messaging you get from that coaches teach you growing up that is similar to the stories in Star Wars. Anyway, so. Oh, Rage O'Donnell says Battlefront 2 is being hacked bad bad. Oh, that is not cool. So we can't have anything fucking nice, people. That's what it comes down to. We can't have anything nice. We can't have anything nice. But I did play a little bit over the weekend. That game is just a pain in the ass to alt tab out of, which makes it hard to stream when you've got like different windows and shit running. So that was a little bit of a pain. But that game still came out in 2017. That game still looks so good. So good. That game blew me away. I remember when the first Battlefront of the new ones came out. I remember playing that for the first time, and that was like the first time we got to see like modern Star Wars graphics. Fuck, that was so cool. But yeah, they pooched the intro on Battlefront 2, and that originally started with the whole microtransactions and everything. But it's such a pretty game. It's such a pretty game. But anyway, yeah, that's one of the games that I'll put. I'm going to put like a list together. That's one of the things I want to do too, is put a list together of games people might want to play, or see or watch, between just me playing games and then like community games, people like getting in on stuff. I think we could have a lot of fun with stuff like that. Or like just a game night where we do a community game, whether it's like a D&D or some kind of tabletop game that we do over the stream, would be really fun. We could rotate viewers in and out. We could have guest chairs, stuff like that. I think that'd be really fun. I know we wouldn't have any shortage of people wanting to DM, that's for sure. Yeah, Jared already says I'll DM. Yeah, we know, buddy. So anyway, that's where we're at. That's where we're at with that. So, I want to just a couple little news items I want to get to, and this is also going to help me test my my camera switching here on my different like scenes and shit. So, I mean, if we're going to go a little good news, bad news here. Do you guys want? And the bad news is not really bad news, and the good news is pretty good news. So I try to keep it light. So you guys want bad news or good news first? Anybody? Give me a thumbs down if you're. Jared says bad. Cal is writing something, which I hope is some kind of a manifesto or manuscript for his next call into Ken's show. We can only go up after bad. See, yeah, I'm with you guys. Give me bad first. I'm with you on that. Always bad news first. All right, here's the first bit of bad news. And again, this isn't, like I said, this isn't actually bad news. Let's have perspective. But if I give you this right here, I'm so bummed about this. EA is canceling the Black Panther game, and they're closing the developer Cliffhanger Games that was working on it. And this isn't like the worst thing in the world, but like we were so close to getting like a cool superhero game that wasn't the Spider-Man games. And this probably would have been on PC right away versus, what the Sony games have been doing. It's just, I was so looking forward to this. Like, as much shit as people give EAA, and it's totally deserved for a lot of their shitty business practices, they have a lot of, like, good games. They've made a shit ton of really shitty ones. But, man, I loved playing EA games growing up. I actually enjoyed EA's Star Wars games, whether it's been the stuff with Respawn or if it's been Battlefront. I love Star Wars Squadrons, which is I mentioned here. I actually noticed here. Yeah, the people that are making the Iron Man title that's coming up that wasn't canceled is the folks that I guess were behind Star Wars Squadrons, but which is a great game, especially if you have like flight stick equipment and shit. But this bummed me out. Again, this isn't like real world, actual. I mean, people lost their jobs. Don't get me wrong, that's horrible. But this isn't what we're dealing with in like in the news as far as politics and shit like that. But this sucks. But this also does kind of show just how a lot of these gaming companies are just eating up other smaller studios, and it sucks when, especially, there's been a decent amount of hype around this game. There was some pretty exciting like stories coming out about what you're gonna be able to do here. So that sucked. That kind of bummed me out. So didn't love that. Didn't love that. Laserbolt is here. Thank you so much for checking in. Missed you on. Well, hold on. Sean King Cal is talking. Missed you on. Memorial Day. Thank you for your service. Yes, thank you so much. I thought that said Mermaid Day at first, Cal, and I was really confused. So I'm glad we cleared that up. Ranger Don says, won't be surprised if Insomnia. No way. Really? That would be really really disappointing. Especially because I feel like I've even seen like footage of that, or like, you know, stuff has been like shown off like press wise of that, and that was also a really cool like concept. So that blows. And yeah, Cal's got a great point. Not like black kids don't need a hero they can identify with in a superhero. Yeah, right. I mean, what are you gonna do? I love Spider-Man Miles Morales. That was a great game. The Spider-Man games are really good, but Cal's absolutely right. One does not cut it. Anyway, so that was part of the bad news I saw today, because I'm a huge gamer, so that kind of bummed me out. But in some good news, and this might even be something Ken talks about tomorrow, or they might cover on any time at the end of the week. This is fairly new, too, from earlier today, and you can't see the very top of it, but federal court blocks Trump from imposing sweeping tariffs under emergency powers law. Federal court Wednesday night blocked President Donald Trump from imposing sweeping tariffs on imports under emergency powers law. So basically, this was the use of the executive order saying that we are, you know, like an emergency declaration of emergency to impose the tariffs because and the reason for it was the trade deficit, basically. So the court is essentially saying, no, the fact that we've run a trade deficit with these countries for 40, 50 years, just because you now don't like that doesn't mean that you can declare an emergency and say these are deemed illegal. So obviously that's all going to get fought still, but it's at least a, like we like to say, a pinprick of light saying that something is happening. Oh, this is a great learning moment for me too. I'm pulling this thing and you guys can't see shit because it's not zoomed in enough. There we go. And this is courtesy of the AP, by the way. So there you go. That's a little bit of good news. It means something is happening, getting pushed back like somewhat, right? That's the court system isn't totally dead. It's not totally dead. And this I thought was kind of funny. So old King Chuck traveled to Canada because they heard and smelled Donald Trump sniffing around, and they figured, hey, we got to stamp down all this 51st state business, right? So King Chuck shows up and talks about how, you know, Canada's facing challenges in our lifetimes are unprecedented. Yeah, we know all about that. The true North is indeed strong and free. Now I'm just imagining King Charles standing there on his Canadian throne with like ice next to him, right? Like the true North is indeed strong and free. That is just, and with those sausage fingers too, like goodness gracious, look at those things. Oh man, poor guy. Anyway, it's just, here's the best part about this, right? So Trump responds to the visit later on Tuesday, and Ken, I apologize in advance if you're going to cover this tomorrow, but I'm sure you can get into much better detail. Folks, we're bribing them with $61 billion of missiles to become the 51st state. That's the gist of it. So what he's basically saying is, if you want to be our 51st state, you won't have to pay to join our future Golden Dome missile defense program. Because Trump heard, you know, that Israel has the Iron Dome. He thought that sounded cool. Trump loves everything gold, so we're going to have a Golden Dome because, you know, of course we are. But, of course, if Canada, it will cost $61 billion. I'm going to develop a Trump impression. I'm going to get there. And this is where I'm going to do it, so you guys are going to see it, but I don't have the confidence for it today. It'll cost $61 billion if they remain a separate but unequal nation, but will cost $0 if they become our cherished 51st state. They're considering the offer, Trump posted on social media. They're considering the offer. So let's see. let's see. So I thought that was very funny today. That made me chuckle. Anywho, so all right, we got some folks checking in. Thank you again to everyone hanging out. Laserbolt came in. Oh, he's checking in on the kids in the backstage. Love to see that. So yeah, considering my ass, yeah, Cal you make a great point. Considering my ass, I don't. He has to say that because he can't just say, oh, they unequivocally denied me as soon as I mentioned it, right? Like, because Trump is just one of those, you know, his aura is he never admits anything is wrong and everything is perfect all the time because it's his idea, and it's the world we're living in. So anyway. What else we can do tonight, guys? Okay, so I'm going to take some calls here soon. The link is in the chat. I've got Jared, I've got Cal lined up. I want to hear what they've got on their mind. I want to hear about the coolest thing you guys saw today. Okay, so that is the goal. I mean, you can if you had other things to call in with, please. I'm more than happy to hear them. But tell me about the coolest thing you saw today. And then I think we're gonna go from there. So, and if you want to spin the wheel, we can spin the wheel. We're all about the wheel here. And also, I'll take some takes on adding shit to the wheel too, because the wheel's not ready for prime time yet. It's getting there. This is where we're gonna work out the kinks. But I wanna get us there. But anyway, do you have? Of course, I have the wheel. Of course, I have the wheel, Cal. Of course, I've got the wheel. Yes, the NBA East and West are wrapping up tonight. It says, Ranger Donald, you are indeed right. It looks like the Panthers are going to hang on. Well, I mean, it's 3-2. There's a whole period left. Not a whole period, but there's 13 minutes left. That's a lot of time. So we'll see. We will see. That is a hockey update without the express written consent of the National Hockey League. I hope I don't get sued for that, too. Florida will win, says Jared. Yeah, probably. Florida just beats the ever-loving shit out of everybody. That's what I've noticed watching hockey. Is like, and I don't mean that in like they beat everyone, like they score more goals than they do. I mean, they do that too, but Florida just physically beats the absolute piss out of everybody. It's crazy. Like the dudes that don't even have the puck just get like mauled. It's wild. So anyway, so yeah, we talked about good news, bad news. We'll do some wheel stuff, sports, hockey, basketball. Yes, baseball. I love baseball as far as like watching it during this time of year is like pastime stuff, but I don't have strong baseball takes until like August or maybe like the All-Star game or like All-Star break time. It just doesn't. We need more meat on the bone for baseball. You know what I mean? The sample size is still too small right now. But anyway, my boy Elliot De La Cruz is killing it this year, so I love to see that. But in other sports that I do want to just talk about really quick and just kind of get off my chest, go Sox. Yeah, you like your Red Sox. We get it. This week is the last of the triple header for Formula One that they're currently on. They are going to Barcelona this weekend for the Barcelona Grand Prix. And then they'll take a week off before their next few races. But the season is really exciting this year. I've talked about this on Ken's show a bit. This is the sport after football that I am probably most like passionate about from a following the days and in and outs and what the hell is going on and everything. It's great because it lasts from March through December, November. So there's only like 3 months off. There are plenty of ethical and moral reasons not to financially support Formula One. I totally understand that. There's a lot of issues there. But if you can separate the sport and the competition from some of that, there are some really cool stories to follow. The competition's fucking incredible. The fact that we're talking about hundreds of seconds between cars that are going 220 miles an hour and bendy turns. We just had the Monaco Grand Prix this last weekend, which is not a very exciting race, but it's a big old spectacle. And the qualifying is always really exciting. So if you're looking for something to watch over the weekend, you know, now that we're getting into the summer and you're not a baseball guy, especially as the basketball and the hockey start getting more sparse because there's only like 4 teams left, and at the way things are going right now, going to be even less soon. Give it a try. The games are on in the morning on the East Coast. If you're on the West Coast, that sucks. That's why the East Coast is the best coast, because all those European races are on real early for you guys out there. But it's a lot of fun. And if you're into the Real Housewives version of it, check out the show on Netflix. That's a great way to kind of get acclimated with stuff. So anyway, yeah, Cal gets it. East Side. He gets it. Anyway, so any billiard sports news, Cal? You better have billiard sports news when you join. I better get some updates on billiards. It starts the week after the Super Bowl with the Daytona. There you go. I mean, yeah, I mean, and that's the cool thing about motor race too. Yeah, you've got February with Daytona 500. If you like IndyCar, that starts around the same time too. They're kind of like split out on different different times, and it's just different styles. And I liked NASCAR as a kid. But the 90s was one of those golden eras of NASCAR, so I think it was a lot easier and more part of the mainstream pop culture back then. But I was never like a huge IndyCar person, but Formula One has made IndyCar more like palatable and more interesting to watch for sure. And so, and always, watching the Indy 500, I always like kind of at least keep up with it or see who's winning or who won. So I, definitely watched the last few laps this year, at least just to stay tuned in on it. But it's not always been my huge like cup of tea. So anyway, that's like my really shitty half-hearted pitch for Formula One. I just wanted to talk about that because this Spanish Grand Prix is this weekend. And while it's not always the most competitive sport from who's going to win, this year's it's close, which is nice. There's only like 3 or 4 teams that relatively or could win a race, and so it makes, which is way better than only 1 or 2, which is what it usually is or has been lately. But even the races in the back are fun, and watching the personalities and rooting for different teams and drivers and stuff makes it really fun. So that's my pitch. Hopefully someone calls me and pays me for that one day, so we'll see. Anyway, all right, we're going to start spinning the wheel. We're going to start taking some calls here soon. If you're here, thank you so much. Thanks for hanging out. Oh man, I didn't get some of the soundboard things I wanted to get tried. Oh, there was like one of them was like a crowd applause one. That's the one I didn't get. Damn. And we'll have to make sure we turn on the music when I test that too. So anyway, all right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get going to some calls. I am going to bring in Jared here soon. Jared, I'm gonna test something because I want to bring you on without your camera, without you muting your camera, because I like that I can see you. Right? It's nice. Like I like that I can see you because there's a level of communication we can do that is nonverbal that is helpful in these situations, right? So I'm on a one-shot thing. Oh, no, I'm on a two. Okay, I'm on a one-shot. If I add you to the stage, it's going to go to a two-shot, I think. But I don't want it to. So we're going to find out, all right? Do you have a good pose ready? Yeah, you do. All right, so here we go. Thank you, buddy. Everyone, Jared the TIE Pilot, welcome to the show. Of course, you're here, and then I just do this, and then you're gone. You know what I mean? So it's like, what are we doing, right? What are we doing? Whatever. But you're here. You're here.
I don't ask questions.
You're here. At least I know. I know kind of how to do it now. Like, cause you're still like, you can still hear. I can still hear you and everything. But, I'll look it up. I'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Anyways,
YouTube that shit.
Yeah, I know. We'll figure it out. How was your Wednesday? Thank you so much for joining us. Did you have something to call in with, or are we going to go straight to the coolest thing you saw today?
I saw a Trumpy's card get declined and him get really mad about it.
Okay. Let's dive into this a little bit. Where were we?
I was at work, and he was trying to buy shenanigans, and just was taking it out on the table, and I'm just like, okay, it's not my fault. It's not my fault. Daddy stole all your money.
No. Any politically charged lines or commentary that this guy had on the way out?
Not him, but during the Memorial Day weekend, every other guy who's buying Miller Lite has to make the comment, "Well, I can't drink Bud Light anymore." I'm just like,
but wait, even Kid Rock went back to drinking Bud Light, didn't he?
Sure, probably. Did he ever?
I thought that was a thing. Not. I thought that was a thing. Anyway, all right. Well, so that was the coolest thing you saw today, really?
I was at work, bro.
Even if like you didn't look at your phone and see something funny that you like laughed at, or like, oh, I saw a really good, Twitter post, or not Twitter post, Blue Sky post or Reddit post or something like that. You know what I mean?
No, man.
All right. I tried.
I kept it low key today. Went to work, came home, took a nap. Saw you were gonna do a late night post. Got showered. Made sure it looked good.
Good.
You said you were feeling cute, so.
No, I was, but I don't look it because I did not clean up today. So we'll make sure we're all fresh for tomorrow. Don't worry. This is the backstage. It doesn't, I don't have to be too
And again,
buttoned up,
living vicariously through your Blue Sky posts about F1 is adorable.
Thank you.
There's a lot of behind the scenes nonsense apparently.
Right? Isn't it fun? I mean, so there's 20 drivers. There's two drivers to a team. There's just so many. It's easy to follow because it's not too many. Like, it's not like where there's like 32 different teams, like, and then there's 30 players on the team or whatever. No, there's just these 20 guys, right? And then, like, just a lot of the principals of the teams, or like the coaches, you could say, they're characters too. But yeah, the drama between them is really half the fun. And when they get pissed off at each other and yelling at each other on the radio, and they cut each other off, because these dudes are cutting each other off at 220 miles an hour, and they're in open wheel cars, like their heads are exposed. It's freaking wild.
Well,
and they're all really good looking. I always mention that, but it's worth mentioning. They're really good looking.
I mean, when you get the money, you can have that.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, how does one become one of these 20 guys? Is it you sleep with the right people, or you pay the right people?
It's hockey update, by the way. 3-3 Panthers and Hurricanes.
Oh, yeah.
This is without the express written consent of the NHL. That's a great question. A few ways, actually. So they call it the pinnacle of motorsport, but a lot of people tell you the 20 drivers in F1 are not the best 20 race car drivers in the world, because they're not. There are several drivers who are on the grid now and historically who literally pay their way to be there. Historically, in the last few years, Nicholas Latifi was a driver he did well for in some lower circuits, but was not a Formula One really level driver. But he brought in millions and millions of dollars in sponsorship money and literally paid for his seat at a team that needed the money. Different teams will allow these sons of billionaires to literally pay for their race seat as long as they can essentially keep up. Don't come in dead ass last every time, and if you can pay your way, go for it. I think the most famous case of that right now is Lance Stroll, who is the son of a billionaire, one of the richest men in the world, I believe, Lawrence Stroll, and he owns Aston Martin. And the Aston Martin Formula One team. The Aston Martin Formula One team has two drivers, one of which is two-time world champion, or more than that, I think. I think maybe 2 times. Fernando Alonso. Anyway, Fernando Alonso drives for Aston Martin, who is one of the great race car drivers of the last 25 years. And the other driver is the dude's son. And while he can keep up, he doesn't come in last every race. And he did have a pretty good junior career racing. There's no question as to why he is on the race team. Like, daddy owns the building, owns the cars, owns the name, owns the fucking color, I'm sure, of the cars. You know what I mean? Like the Aston Martin green. Like, so that's kind of like an interesting way. You know what I mean? Like, imagine if the New England Patriots, if Robert Kraft had a son and he just really wanted his son to be the quarterback, and it's like, hey, I'm just, just don't get killed out there. But it wouldn't work, right? Because there's so many like moving pieces in a sport like that. But with racing, if you're a kid that's been doing it long enough, and you can hang, kind of like golfing, right? If you can hang and not just hit it into the woods every time, and get the car around the track, then go for it. But don't get me wrong, dude's incredibly gifted and skilled. He can drive a Formula One car, and he's been doing it for years. He doesn't win anything, but it's an interesting caveat of the sport.
When they shift, is it flappy paddles, or they got old school
flappy paddles? Flappy paddles. Oh, nice. Yeah. The cars are hybrids now, so they really, one of the things they really emphasize is the fact that the cars are hybrids now, and that they use battery packs for like a literal go fast button. Essentially, it's called an overtake button, where they can apply battery power to the overall horsepower of the car, electrical battery power, and then it drains over a short period of time, and then they have to literally recharge it through the inertia of the car, right? So like the kind of like the way you charge a regular car battery in a sense. I mean, that's not how it is, but that's a good way to kind of compare it.
That feels like a video game thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it is. But the cars are still like, the dude, look at those guys' neck muscles is all I have to say. Like, not even like, and not even the forearms and like all of the dexterity it takes to like drive those things, and the fact that there's a fucking metal bar in the middle of the cars now so that they don't die when the cars flip over. The neck muscles on these dudes, like they could probably like lift up like 100 pounds just doing like one of these. It's insane. Look at any F1 driver's neck. It's fucking wild.
How can you see the neck though? They got those big ass safety collars on.
You got to watch the Real Housewives of Formula One on Netflix. That's you see them all the time, and half of them are shirtless because they all are Adonises and they want to show off. They all live in Monaco and live the lives of rich playboys. It's great.
Oh god, you know who's a lot stronger and whatnot than they give themselves credit for, and people are rock climbers. People see like a really good professional rock climber, they think they're like skinny and they got nothing going on. It's like, no, bro, they will snap you in twain.
Oh yeah, dude, because the back muscles on those guys.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I bet you have giant back and shoulder muscles.
It's basically yeah,
because they're just in. Oh, it's like it's crazy. It's fucking crazy.
Oh yeah, I don't get it. It's just,
yeah.
Actually, I remember a while ago, there was a little YouTube show that used to say, nice body, what can you do with it? And they would take gym bros and put them in some sort of scenario, like go rock climbing. You can bench press 400 pounds. What else can you do?
Would they make them like fill out a puzzle, or like are they smarter than fifth grade? Like do they make the gym bros like complete any kind of
they should.
Yeah.
They should. That'd be fun.
Yeah. See that I those are the kind of tests I want to find, some like fun little games like that we can play with Ken, where I can just like randomly, depending on the topic or what's going on, I can just throw Ken a question or like throw out like a soundboard or something like that. So while you're here, Jared, did you have anything else you wanted to get to before I use you as a guinea pig for sounds?
No, but I was just gonna say, just to add to that, like, one of the best tricks that a dungeon master will use is how do you confuse your party of 30 to 40-year-old, sometimes college level graduates. You throw a third grade problem at them.
That's not bad.
Right?
That's not a bad idea. Right. Someone's gonna overthink it too.
Oh, they always do. It's what's the worst enemy you can put in front of a party? Just a plain wooden door. There's nothing wrong with it. They will spend 30 minutes debating whether that door is safe or not.
Is that even a real door? That's not a real door.
It's like all you gotta do is get him with a mimic one time.
Right. Yeah, exactly. One time.
That's
so true. That's so true. Oh man, me and my buddies played a lot of Dark and Darker in the last few months. This was a game on PC that was like one of these dungeon extraction loot extraction games where think if you ever played anything like Tarkov or imagine like Fortnite at the end, but at the end of the game, instead of having to kill everyone at the end, you had to like get out, right? Like the map shrinks and then you could get into a portal to like get out. So there's 3 people to a team, but it's all D&D kind of themed, right? So there's like, clerics and bards and barbarians and shit like that. So that was a lot of fun doing that. Anyways, part of the loot table on that, like as you're playing, is you can open a chest and there might be shit in it, or it's a fucking mimic. And it's just, the joke was like every time you took your hand off the mouse to like while you're opening a chest to do something else, that is when the chest was a mimic every goddamn time, because then you had to sit there and scramble and be like, not hope you just got your fucking self killed. It was awful. But yeah.
Mimics are great because I have traumatized many parties with turning things into, because remember, a mimic can be anything.
Right.
Michael
McCarthy's door is always a mimic.
I've made castles, dungeon. I made the moon a mimic.
I don't know how that worked, but I believe it.
Spelljammer, man. Spaceships are a thing in D&D.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, fair. I've never played any D&D with those elements. My stuff has always been fairly like vanilla in that regard, but okay.
Like I said,
anyway,
I will do Star Wars parts here on Backstage.
Yeah, there might be something there. I think there might be an idea for like either a either like some kind of weekly game, or I don't know how often, but like a game that we do on occasion, and we have a cast of regulars, but then we have like 1 or 2 guest slots, so that we have like new people every time, right? And then we can incorporate that into the thing. That'd be really fun.
An easy way to do that for Star Wars is just a bounty hunter campaign. This way you can always have a cast of step-ins and whatnot, and, and have that core group of your skeleton crew regulars. This way
exactly. No, I like that. Yeah. No, that makes sense too, because then you can have people easily come in and out, use the ship as like the kind of the home base, and it's mobile. That's awesome.
Exactly. It's like I've done this for 30 years.
I believe it. Hockey update. Damn, hold on, wait, do I have a thing? All right, hold on. Tell me how some of these sounds work. So if I want to just interrupt what someone's doing. So here's the Law and Order dun dun. How loud is that?
Not over. It's loud enough, but not overbearing.
Okay.
Do it again. Yeah, no, that's not terrible.
That's on a good level. Okay.
Yeah,
I dig that.
My headphones
are
nice and loud.
Okay, good. All right, there's someone that's loud but work. Cal says it's a little loud. Cal, you might just have sensitive ears. I was looking at him in the thing to see how you reacted to that, and I don't think he thought it was as funny as I thought. All right. Oh, Svetnik says it's a perfect level. All right, well, I trust Cal. I'm going to turn it down just a wee bit. Just a wee bit, just for Cal. There we go. Yeah, better. That's better. All right. Okay, so if I'm going to like breaking news, like I'm going to break into whatever the hell we're saying. Oh, hey, by the way, the Panthers scored. It's 4-3. A little over 3 minutes left in the third period. I am giving you that update without the express written consent of the National Hockey League.
That's what I keep looking at. So
yeah, that's okay. Like I said, I showed you guys where the hell all my shit is. So, and I've got the TV position just out of frame perfectly. So, but hey, I was gonna say the Timberwolves aren't losing by 30 anymore, but they are. They're losing by like 40. So never mind.
I love the not in use Discord monitor behind you too.
The not in use Discord. Yes, that's so. That's sitting on that white PC. That's my old PC.
That's a PC. I thought that was a refrigerator.
No, my little. I have a tiny itty bitty little mini fridge that can fit like 4 beer cans, like over here on my right side where my little nightstand is. But yeah, no, that white thing is that's a PC tower. So that's hooked up to that monitor, and then that TV that's behind me.
Yeah, I got to get you and Brady in a group chat to help me build a PC because.
Oh yeah,
25 years since I've worked on a computer.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, there you go. There's another thing here for the Blathering community. If you're in the Discord, here's another perk of being in Ken's Discord. If you're in the Blathering Kennapzok Discord, hit me up in Discord and I'll help you with PC shit because I love doing that. So yeah, just let me know. I've built computers and all that kind of nerd stuff. So
every time I ask a PC friend, like they either make it too simple or just like, here's a $2,500 build. I'm like, bro, I just want to play like Left 4 Dead and Roller Coaster Tycoon.
that's easy enough. Easy enough. Oh man. Oh, Roller Coaster Tycoon. Okay, so Parkitect. That's the new Roller Coaster Tycoon. Okay, and I'm putting that on my list right now. Hold on. And we're Cal. I'm gonna get to you soon here. I'm gonna
bring him in.
I will in a moment. Hold on. Parkitect.
Because Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 is just a classic, almost a perfect game.
So here's the thing, dude. And if anyone out here knows what I'm talking about with Parkitect, please hit me up. Yeah, totally. Yeah, let me know.
That I know.
Yeah, no. So Parkitect is like a knockoff version of Roller Coaster Tycoon, but it's like modeled after the OG, like the old school Roller Coaster Tycoons. It's like they literally took those like Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 and just made it with new graphics. But it's not like realistic. It's like, new cartoony graphics. I'm telling you, totally worth, and it's like $20. It's not an expensive game. I'm adding that to my list of games I might play on stream because that would actually be fun. We could do Blatherland. We could build Blatherland on stream. Yes. That would be amazing.
Yes. Right. I support that one.
Right. Blatherland is one of my ideas. The other idea I had was card shop simulator. We could do like a blather card shop where we sell like card shop simulator, just like one of those games. But there's like lots of mods and stuff where I could do like Star Wars and shit. So
I still need to get started on that online Magic the Gathering so I can play you.
Yes, Magic Arena. Yeah, that's a lot of fun. That's a lot of fun.
I got it downloaded. That was step one.
Yeah, there you go. That's a start. So anyway, yeah, and yeah, Alex C here makes a great point. And multiplayer, it is. So you can do a lobby with like, yeah, I know, right? You're like furrowing your brow. How is Roller Coaster Tycoon multiplayer?
So Roller Coaster Tycoon Minecraft?
No, so it's literally Roller Coaster Tycoon. But imagine, so you're playing Roller Coaster Tycoon, right? Now imagine I have the game as well, and kind of like Civ. If you ever played Civilization, where we join the same lobby,
I know, but yeah.
Yeah, I join your lobby in Parkitect, and we are now both looking at the exact same thing, and we can both do all the same shit. So I can move and build a roller coaster over here while you're building a food court over there, and then I can also grab a little person and put them into a grab like one of the customers and put them into like a block of endless, where they're stuck in a loop endlessly forever and ever. Every 11-year-old who played Roller Coaster Tycoon was torturing their guests in some way.
Oh my god,
it's how we got some of our anger out. Yeah,
you were never allowed to leave.
Yeah.
You just went, but a do not enter. Right.
Oh yeah, or you're testing the roller coasters like that didn't have a track that ended, and they'd go into like a pool of water or something like that, shit like that. Then the Zoo Tycoon had the animals you could put in there. It was a whole thing. It was a whole thing. Anyway, great. So Jared, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna take you back for a minute, and I'm gonna bring Cal on, and then if you want to hang out, we can do a little group chat at the end. Does that sound good?
Sounds fun.
All right, buddy.
3 hours.
We're not going 3 hours. We're actually not going to go. We're gonna wrap up here in a little bit because calls were at the end. So that's why I'm gonna get Cal in here soon. All right, Jared, thank you so much. I'm sure we'll see you here back in a little bit. And if you want to call in and hang out and join us, please, you can use the link that is at the top. Cal, we're not going 3 hours. You can use the link that's at the top. Oh no, that's not the link. I just went to hit paste and it was a Parkitect note. Hockey update 5. Oh wow, 5-3. Yep, that game's over. We're calling that dead. Folks, I'm here to call it on the Backstage. Time of death for the Carolina Hurricanes in the NHL Eastern Conference Finals. 10:55 p.m. Eastern Time. There's still 54 seconds left in the game, but it doesn't matter. I'm calling it right now. Panthers are going to win. Panthers will go to the NHL Finals for the third straight year. They lost the first time, won the second time, and they're probably going to be favored to win in the Stanley Cup Finals. I said the NHL Finals, Stanley Cup Finals. They'll probably be favored to win in the final, but we'll see. We will see. That is all without the express written consent of the NHL. Cal, are you ready to come hang out? And do you want to be on camera or not? Yes or no? You get the choice. And don't tell me it's up to me. Just thumbs up for yes, thumbs down for no. And it's okay to say yes or no. It's okay. Thumbs up today? Okay, thumbs up today. All right. Everyone, welcome to the stage, the one, the only Kingsport Cal. How's it going, buddy?
What's up, man? What's up?
What's up? How are you? How are you doing today? Did you have anything you wanted to bring to the table this evening specifically, or do you just want to tell me what the coolest thing you saw was today?
I didn't even know that you was doing it tonight, man. I'm not a good person who checks the socials and all that crazy stuff. I don't do that as often as I should.
Cal, I didn't know I was doing this till about it's 10:57. I didn't know I was doing this till 8:45. I posted something in Discord in the afternoon that was like, hey, I might do a stream later tonight at like 10ish, try some stuff out, don't really know. And I had a whole bunch of shit to figure out before then, and then it was 8:30 and I was like, okay, I think I can do it. And so I tried to squeeze in that time to prep, and voila.
All right, and then here we are. Well, I did want to be on camera just to show my knapsack. My knapsack mug.
What do we got? Oh, look at this.
But I've shown this before on Ken's show.
Really? Oh, I haven't seen that. Wait, do you have? Does it come with a top? Does Ken's cup come with a top?
You right. You right. You look. You take the top off. It's got a wooden top on it. This straw is metal.
Wait a minute. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Cal, stop.
What?
So when you purchased that from our beloved kennapzok.
Oh yes, you damn right. Yeah.
Did it come with the top and straw?
Yes, yes.
Oh my god!
It's like it won't hold a 16 ounce like your
Like the big mug.
yeah, your pint glass. That's a pint
Oh,
glass.
okay.
But
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it
Yeah.
won't hold it'll hold like a 12 ounce at least. It almost holds a 16 ounce of Miller Lite, Jared. Anyway, but yeah, but it comes with this wooden top, and you remove it and you clean it. It's got a rubber seal on it, keeps it in there good, and you have a metal straw that it's metal, so you
Damn,
can wash it out and reuse it.
that's amazing.
For me to get this, I think it was like $20, but or 25 maybe. I can't remember. I think altogether it was like $30.
Damn, that's a high quality. That's a high quality product from
yeah,
the kennapzok store.
it's a cool item, and I've never used a metal straw before, so this is my very first metal straw. So there you go.
Look at that, and we're being
Environmentally safe. Addie
Love
would
that.
love that.
She
love
would. She would. If I
She would.
decide to not scrub this stream from existence and Addie watches this back,
Well,
she'll be smiling.
So buy it.
She'll be smiling. No, I think actually I didn't do as much experimentation today as I was expecting. So who knows? This stream might actually live on. But
Well, you got the wheel, right?
I do.
I do
I
want
have
to
the
take the
wheel.
hand in that, but I do want to tell you the coolest things I saw today. I don't
Please.
know. I don't know if you. I don't know if you listened to when I was telling Ken about the damn Mexican place I found. But anyway,
I do. I remember. I
Okay.
listened to it. I heard.
all right. I went. Yeah, drinking beer with a straw is another level, son. I knew a girl named Sunshine. By the way, I knew a girl named Sunshine who used to do that because she said that it got her drunk quicker. And I guess it did. But anyway, I don't want to explain her.
Okay.
her
All right. I'm gonna
situation.
Google that. I'm gonna Google that while you tell the rest of the story.
Okay,
Please go ahead.
okay.
Yep.
No, I'm telling you something else. But
Yeah. That's fine.
because I don't want to divulge about Sunshine. Anyway,
I know someone whose sister's name is Sunshine.
well, no, this is in Tennessee, son. It's a whole different level.
Yeah.
When you name Sunshine, you name Sunshine for a reason. But anyway, oh yeah, I went to my Mexican place, which
Okay.
Kim wanted me to say the name. The name, I started looking around. It doesn't really matter because the name is a common name that Mexican restaurants use. It's La Esperanza. I think that even how you say it. But anyway, I went to get the burrito, and when I went in there, that was just blinged out, like straight up mamacita. I tried to tell Ken this place was for Latinos only. It just happens to be dropped in the middle of a all white place. They carved out their niche. Because when I go there, there's nothing but Latino customers and workers. And there's one guy that speaks English. One. And they called him one time when I went there because he was on the run to get some supplies, and they called him to take my order. That's
Okay.
how authentic this place is.
Right.
But anyway,
right.
I walked in there and I seen a blinged out mama seats. I mean, I'm talking about dripping gold, just looking up. I was like, this is my place, and I just so happened to have this fucking shirt on, my Corona shirt. So she gave me the eye there for a second, but I was about to say anything. That was too many people in there, and I don't know what they're saying. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say what they say anyway.
Oh man.
But that, and then I drove. I was feeling good because it looked good today. It's a good southern weather. Up there in Kentucky, I don't know. Down here in Tennessee, it's looking good. Foliage
Up there in
out.
Kentucky.
It's great.
What,
No.
Cal? Are you under the impression I live in Kentucky?
I'm sorry. I'm thinking somebody else. Virginia.
There you go.
Jesus Christ. Somebody
It's okay.
clip that. But no,
It's okay.
no, you know what I'm talking about because you my neighbor.
I know.
You're up there
Yeah.
in Virginia. We got
Yeah.
that good weather going on, so it's looking good today. So I drove around, and I went and drove by the Holston River. And down here, we got a few parks that we got Cherokee Lake down there. We got anyway. But I went, checking out the Holston River. But anyway, that's enough.
It's been raining like shit for 2 days here. But other than that, before that, the weather was beautiful. It was like 65 and sunny. It was amazing. I don't like the heat, Cal. I struggle in the heat. You see this? You see this? This does not do good in high humidity and hot weather. Just doesn't. Tie it up, do whatever you want. It's not. It's
That's
not a
your
fun
choice.
time.
That
I know.
is your choice.
I know. I know. But I also, here's the thing. I can fix being cold, Cal. I can put layers on.
I say this
I can put
all
a
the
blanket
time.
on. You know what I mean? Like, I can't fix being hot as easy. I can't just like strip all of my layers everywhere. Like, I'll catch a charge for something. You know what I mean? Especially if I'm in public. Like, we can't do that. Air conditioning takes time. Heating yourself up is so much a quicker process than cooling yourself off. So I will take being cold and having to fix that over being hot any day. Also, I conflate being hot with having like to do a bunch of shit or like, you know, being like you working out or like, you know, and that
Work.
and early, yeah, fuck that.
Sweat.
Yeah.
Sweat.
Fuck, yeah, not about that. As I'm saying that, my glasses are fogging up. So yeah.
Well, think about this, Ken. Cause you can. Just think about this, Steve.
I think
Back
I'm
in
honored.
the
I
day,
don't know. Yeah.
You should be. Back in the day, people would take a block of ice and put it in the window and put a fan next to it to cool
Yeah.
themselves off.
Yeah. Genius.
We have air conditioning.
yeah.
Anyway,
No, it's
but
genius.
you know, I understand what you're saying, man. I'd rather be cold because you know I love heated blankets. Nothing like getting up to
Oh.
go piss in the middle of the
Oh.
night after under a just not even a heated blanket, just a when you're in that bubble. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then you
Oh,
gotta
the
go
heated
pee,
blanket.
get up.
The heated
And
blanket
then,
hits so hard.
oh yeah, but anyway, those are my two things, and I want to see what you got on this wheel. I want to do some
Okay.
experiment.
You want to spin the wheel? All right. Well, we'll bring Jared back before we spin the wheel. I know Jared wants to spin the wheel.
Oh, he wants to spin the wheel too. Oh.
Does Jared want to spin the wheel? Come on now. Of course Jared wants to spin the
No.
wheel. Of course Jared wants to spin it. Who doesn't want to spin? Anyway, if you want to spin the wheel, call in. The link is there. You don't have to be on camera. These guys are just generous and like hanging out with us. But if you, Brady says y'all got experience with humidity in Asia. Here's the thing. I talked about this a little bit on. Detective, get on in here. If you want to spin the wheel, get on in here. We're going to spin it soon. Cal, I'm going to tell you the story. I've talked about this a little bit on the Blathering, but I was a bit of a nomad growing up, and I mean that in a good way. I was very fortunate. My dad had a job where he moved around a lot. So I lived in 7 states before I graduated high school. I went to 4
You were
elementary
very
schools.
popular.
No, I was the opposite of that, Cal. I went to 4 elementary schools, 3 middle schools, and luckily 1 high school. So I finally settled down for high school and went to 1 high school. So I was very thankful for that. But I got really good at being the new kid. Man, I even transferred colleges. I went to 2 colleges. Like I was like a traumatized, broken individual. I couldn't commit. I had problem with commitment. I couldn't stay at one place for too long. Right. So I've lived all over the country, like weather-wise. Right. Well, sorry. Please go ahead. What are you gonna say?
Wait a minute. I have to know is any of this in between the Applebee's, Steve?
Is any
The
of this between?
Applebee's?
What about it? What about the Applebee's?
Was you settled down at the high school when the Applebee's? You had to be when the Applebee's Steve came. Remember the Applebee's Steve?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was post settle down for sure. Yes, absolutely.
Okay,
That was it. Yeah. Well, that was also I had never been to an Applebee's. I don't think until that period of time anyway. So
Alright.
that tracks. But yeah, so I've lived all over the country, different climates, different demographics, all sorts of shit, right? So I've gone from, and this is just life experience, right? I went from being the only white kid in my middle school class for like 3 of 5, 6 classes, right? When I lived in South Florida, to the exact opposite of that, living in a place like Virginia, and then living in a place like Arizona, it was split right down the middle. So it was really interesting because I had a lot of really mixed perspectives growing up and like learning about different places and people living, especially as a kid. That was super valuable. That was super cool. And yeah, Laserbolt says I grew up in a military family, so I was used to moving every 3 or 4 years as a kid. Yeah, so it's a similar thing, right? Like I've shared this experience with some folks who I knew growing up who were also military kids who kind of went through the same thing. You know, my dad wasn't in the military, but it was so like a weird thing, right? So that's it's also kind of why I like doing this, because I like talking to new people and seeing what kind of cool stuff is going on. You know what I mean? I find it easy to talk to people I don't necessarily know very well, or and shit like that. So I find that really fun. So
Yeah, it's probably because
that's my
you're
life
used
story.
to
Yeah.
it. Well,
Yeah.
I didn't need to know your life story, but
No, I know.
yeah,
That's okay.
it's probably
I told you
because
anyway.
you're used to it. You're used to meeting new people. That's why
Right.
I kind of said you was probably always a popular kid, because usually the new person gets a little bit popular there for a little while. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I wish I got that bump. I did not get the new kid popular bump, unfortunately, Cal. No, I wish though. I wish. It's funny. It says where in Arizona, about the Phoenix area, and that was 20 years ago, over 20 years ago. And that was probably one of my favorite places I lived, was Phoenix, Arizona. That was just a cool happening place. And back then, when I lived there, it was growing really fast. So it was just an exciting time to live there. But anyway.
But what about, wait a minute,
go
real
ahead.
quick. Wait a minute.
Please.
What about Virginia? How you like Virginia?
I love Virginia. Virginia's treated me well. I went to high school here, went to college here. The climate, I like the climate because I get all the seasons. I lived in both Florida and Arizona, where I didn't get all 4 seasons, especially Florida. So I do like I like seeing color in the fall. I like seeing green in the spring. Having snow in the wintertime, stuff like that. Getting to experience all that. So I do like Virginia. I like Northern Virginia a lot, like where I live now. But it's got pockets. There's it is a lot of like urban sprawl. So the culture is not very super interesting in a lot of ways, because it's just very cookie cutter suburbs. But there is a little more. It's in some of the smaller towns. There's a little more interesting shit to do. So
Small towns is where's
good
that?
question. Hell yeah.
So wait a minute.
Small
So
business.
wait a
Cal.
minute.
Go ahead.
You are. So I'm in East Tennessee. So if you're in Northern Virginia, then you're not near the line where I'm near.
No, but I spent some time in Southwest Virginia. So I've been to Tennessee twice in my life, Cal. I went once to Knoxville. I went to a Tennessee Georgia game. Yeah. So, dude, we'll talk about that sometime. That was the most incredible sports experience I've ever had, and I didn't care about either team. That was just crazy. Being in a stadium with 110,000 other crazy friggin' people, and you know what? Here's my hot take for Tennessee. Learn another fucking song other than Rocky Top. Just like literally anything else. Just throw something else in there every so often.
How dare you, Steve?
Just don't get me wrong. Rocky Top is great. I loved it. But I was humming Rocky Top in my head for like 13 days after that game.
Right.
Because if Tennessee moved the ball 3 yards forward, they sang Rocky Top at the top of their lungs. I loved it. But holy hell, folks, we got to sprinkle some other verses in there or something. So anyway,
I'm not even a sports fan, and my blood bleeds orange, son. That's how much.
That's great. That's what I love about sports, Cal. That's one of the things I love about sports.
I don't even like sports.
I know, but you still care. If I told you, fuck the balls, you'd have an emotional response to that.
Hey, what happened to the Oilers? Not the Oilers? I'm sorry, I'm going way back. What happened to the Titans? What didn't they change it? Or is it still Titans? I don't pay that much. I don't pay that much NFL.
There was a story about the whole retro uniform thing between them and the Texans, and who should get to use the Oilers uniforms and blah blah blah. There was a whole thing about that. But no, the Titans. I remember the Titans. They're still here.
Remember Titans, good movie.
Yeah, they're still here. It was a good movie.
Anyway, let's do this wheel stuff.
Let's do the wheel. All right. Well, I'm gonna bring in the detective really quick. We're gonna see what he's got on his mind. See, detective. I don't know if you were here earlier when we were talking about kind of the theme of the day is just the coolest thing you saw today. So that's kind of the prompt for what you've got to bring to the table. So let me know about the coolest thing you saw today, or whatever it is that you said you wanted to call in about. So the 4 will be yours, and then I'll bring you all 3 back, and we'll spin the wheel. Sound good, Cal?
Oh, are you asking me? It's your show. Sure.
You're just supposed to say yes and smile and nod. That's
okay. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Cal. All right. So with that, we will, detective, give me a thumbs up if you are ready, and if are you camera good as well? hey, I gotta ask. We're all about consent and making sure people are comfortable around here. All right. With that being said, that's a weird introduction. Sorry. Hello, everyone. This is Detective McCarshall joining us on Blathering Backstage. I have to ask you really quick. First of all, oh, look at us.
There we go.
Yes.
Gotta
all right.
match
Yeah.
that
No.
energy,
This is a new requirement now for these interviews.
For those that have it,
Exactly. Yeah. Gotta flaunt it if you have it, right?
Ken's not here. We can't.
Yeah, we don't want to pick on anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't say it. Do you have the Rebel Starbird on your shoulder?
I do. I thought we brought that up during the brackets, but yes, I have.
No, I don't remember. Oh, and do you have the Jedi Order one in the middle of that?
This inlaid in there, very subtly.
That's so badass. Oh, that's so cool. That is very cool. Dig that.
I should have gotten it like touched up like a couple months after, but I kind of like that it's all a little faded.
Yeah, it's a little Rogue One-esque, you know.
It looks like all the shit that the Rebels have because it's all
right.
Right.
All the helmets are beat up and everything. Yeah. Right. No, yeah, I dig that. I love that. All right. Well, I hope we don't get flagged for McCarshall showing off the gun show here. Yeah. No, I meant the weapons you've got on your arms there. You gotta be careful though with those muscles, buddy. So anyway, so what have you got going on today? Was there something specific you wanted to call in about, or did you just want to share what the coolest thing you saw today was?
The coolest thing we saw today. I missed that. Admittedly, I jumped in like 30 minutes.
That's okay. That's okay. That was just kind of like the theme of the prompt of the day. So what was the coolest thing you saw today?
Man, it was a pretty chill day, to be honest. Like there wasn't much.
It's been a chill Wednesday for a lot of people, so you're not alone.
Like I saw someone take a cool fall at the gym.
Oh, cool fall. Like, are they okay?
But to follow up on what you said earlier, rock climbing. I worked at a rock climbing gym, so someone took just a really big fall.
Ooh.
Yeah, but they're fine. They're fine.
Okay.
They're on a rope.
Okay.
They're fine. It's called.
Oh.
I don't know if you're familiar with the different types of rock climbing.
I'm not. Educate me.
So one of the types is called lead climbing. That's where it has like the clips and stuff.
Okay.
And so
you go from like clip to clip to clip to clip. Okay.
Basically each clip is your anchor point, and so
got it.
Technically, the higher you are from the ground, the statistically less likely you are to hit the ground. So if I take a fall from like the first, second, or even third clip, I'm close enough to the ground that because the rope stretches and I'll pull my belayer off the ground because you make a bit of an arc. So however much slack is in the line, you're going to fall that far and then you're going to fall that far again.
Okay.
So if you are too close to the ground, you're just going to, what we call deck.
Right.
So you hit the ground. So if you're 25 feet up in the air and you fall 10 feet, you're fine.
This is venturing into math territory, Detective. I was a journalism major. Numbers are not my thing, but I trust you.
But anyway, someone just took a very big fall. They're fine. It was just. They're fine. It's always entertaining. Good. It's always entertaining to see someone take a good fall, as long as they're not hurt.
So I imagine a fall is probably like the most exciting big thing that would happen at a rock climbing gym. But any other big stories? Like, has anyone ever proposed at your rock climbing gym at the top of the rock wall or anything like that? Like, any crazy stories?
I'll do you one better. Two of my coworkers met there. And got married there.
They got married at the rock climbing gym.
Yes, they met there because they worked together. Okay. And then he proposed when they were in like Norway or something. They went on a climbing trip in Europe, but they just rented out the gym. Obviously the owners gave them a pretty solid discount because why wouldn't they? But they had their wedding there. They went in the gym. There's like a main wall, I guess best way to describe it. And there's an upstairs area that's got a balcony. So we sat just on the balcony area, and they climbed up the main wall and sat there like anchored down. And then the officiant was on the balcony with us and just performed the ceremony. It was pretty great. It was great.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You rock climbing nerds. I love that. That's awesome.
It really is.
That's awesome.
There. There's so many doctors and engineers in that building.
That doesn't surprise me. I mean, I went to I knew a lot of engineering friends growing up in college and everything, and CrossFit and rock climbing seems to be a thing that those kids were into back then. So I mean, I'm in my 30s now, so it's a little different now. But
it's really hard to not injure myself. 'Cause I'm almost,
Yeah.
I'll be 32 in like 2 weeks, and it's,
Okay.
shoulders are injury prone, the back is injury prone, the hands, it's got to be careful.
do you have sorry, I'm on the backstage. I got a notification
You're
here. Do you have a rock climbing story or a bad experience or something that happened that was like a big scare or anything like that? Or do you rock climb in the wild? Like, are you one of these dudes who's like is climbing Yosemite, or do you all your rock climbing on like the artificial things like in gyms?
I would like to go outdoors. I just haven't had the opportunity. Just
Okay.
school, fiance, just life in general. I just haven't had the time.
Gotcha.
But a lot of my coworkers will make the drive. And there's also not a lot of outdoor options around me. Louisiana's
Okay.
kind of not exactly known for its mountain ranges.
Right.
So the nearest options are like all the way up in Arkansas, and the closest, what's called a crag, is about 8 hours away. So it's not. So you have to make it. Yeah, it's basically an outdoor spot where you go climbing. It's kind of
The only crag I'm familiar with is the Astro Crag from Guts from back in the day. You may be a wee bit young. I know Brady's not going to know. Jared might know what I'm talking about.
The only Guts I know is from Berserk.
Okay. So this was a Nickelodeon show. Jared knows what I'm talking about. Global Guts. This was a show on Nickelodeon. Yes, exactly. So this was American Gladiators for kids. Parcel.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yes, and they climbed the Astro Crag at the end of every show. That was like the big thing. And if you race to the top, you got a piece of the Astro Crag as far as like your big crag. So that's the only crag I'm familiar with.
Probably pretty young the last time I watched.
Oh yeah. No, it was mid '90s. Mid '90s is when that was out.
I was probably like
you were
the last time I watched
you were a little
it,
one.
So.
The Mike O'Malley was the host for that, who became like a sports stand-up comedian personality nowadays and everything. And so it's fun. Good times. Good times.
I haven't gone outdoors. we've had one, but we've had two in the time I've been there when someone's gotten severely injured. But so like one person took a bad fall while doing the lead climbing, but basically he didn't stop himself correctly, and his knee slammed into a hold. So he just fell at just the wrong angle, and he couldn't, because you're supposed to basically catch yourself with your feet and just use your legs to cushion the fall.
Right.
Just use your body the way it's supposed to, basically. But his knee just wham right into the hole, and I was doing something, and then in the span of seconds, because like we're like right down the road from a fire station, so like I heard the fall happen, and just minutes later, EMTs through the door.
Jeez!
Holy shit! I didn't realize it was that bad.
Right.
They like readjusted his knee on the spot. Like it was bad. Then one other girl, she was doing what's called bouldering, which is where you're not attached to a rope at all, but it's a much shorter wall. It's only like 15 feet or so. Yep. People can, in fact, break their back while bouldering, Jared. It's
so tell me what this is. So they don't have a rope. What is bouldering?
So you're still rock climbing. But it's, like I said, it's a much shorter wall, and you've got like a 1.5 foot thick pad, like literally 2 mattresses worth of pad to land on. Okay. But you're still not attached to a rope. So if you fall, you have to fall correctly, or you're gonna fuck up.
Oh wow.
And this one girl landed so very wrong, because we recommend basically land on your feet and curl into a ball. Right. Protect your head, protect your joints, whatever. And
it's like when you're playing Zelda, you have to do the roll when you fall from a high angle, so you don't hurt yourself. You got to do the roll move. Yeah, got it. Yeah,
real
makes
world
perfect sense.
Video games. I love it.
Yes, it makes perfect sense.
But both of her ankles just kind of, and her wrist was fucked up, and one of her whole arms was kind of just fucked. And I wasn't even exactly tuck and roll. But I was just there climbing on my off day, and I was on the wall. One of my coworkers runs up to me, yells up like, "Hey, Michael, I need you to come down so you can carry this girl."
Oh, jeez.
It was bad. Poor thing was.
Oh, jeez.
She was in a lot of pain. So like,
oh man,
we got a chair and me, her boyfriend, and my coworker. So like I got one shoulder, boyfriend got the other, and one of my coworkers literally got her legs and just held her legs as still as possible, and we just put her in a chair because we're upstairs. That's where that area is. So we had to slowly bring her downstairs while trying not to like move her too much. So, you know, it took a while to get her out the building, and then her boyfriend had to bring the truck around, and we had to like slowly load her into the back of, like, not into the bed of the truck, but to the back seat of the truck.
Oof.
It was so it just, you gotta be careful. And she was young too. She was only like 22, 23. Hopefully she could bounce back, but I haven't.
Right, you would
either
hope.
of them
Yeah,
since,
you'd think.
so,
Yeah,
but hopefully she's recovered. But yeah,
Wow.
other than that, like I've been climbing for coming up on 3 years, and those were the only two like major incidents I've seen in that gym. So like statistically, not bad.
Not bad.
You know,
Not bad.
No.
I mean, that's one of my workplaces. Somebody like walked into a glass door, so that's only one less bad, injury than me working in an office. So that's not bad. That's pretty good.
Was your coworker drunk? What?
No, it wasn't even a worker. It was like a person who was visiting our office, like a client or whatever. And we had a glass door, and they were turning a corner hard, and that was a whole thing.
I almost tripped over a chair the other day, so I get it. Sometimes you're just,
you totally.
sometimes that dex roll is just real low.
It's just not good. Well, Detective, thank you so much for coming on and telling us. I've learned so much about rock climbing today. Thank you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring everyone back here in just a moment, and we'll spin the wheel. You want to spin the wheel?
Hell yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's do it. All right, so I will. I'm going to say goodbye for just a moment, and then we'll do some housekeeping, and then we'll do some wheels. So thank you so much. Alrighty, so thank you everyone for joining us here on the Backstage on a Wednesday evening. We're an hour and 25-ish minutes in. We're not going to go for 3 hours. We're going to wrap it up here pretty soon, actually. We're not even going to go 2 hours, I promise, because I'm going to bring all the fellows back, and we're going to spin the wheel, and we're going to do it right the first time, this time, where I'm going to spin the wheel, and then instead of everyone doing the same thing, that doesn't make... I thought about this again, and I was like... Your wheel spin is meaningless if everyone does the thing you did on the wheel, right? Like, so I'm going to keep it unique. So when Jared spins the wheel, he's going to be the only thing that does the thing on the wheel. And then Cal's going to spin the wheel, and he's going to be the thing. He's going to do whatever the thing on that spin, right? That's how we're going to do it. This is what we're here for, folks. This is how we do it. JMB, this is not heresy. It's 11:30 at night on a Wednesday. I have to work tomorrow, brother. Like, I have a child asleep upstairs, so I have to wake up with it, like, God knows what time. It's 6 a.m. to do shit. So, anyway. And then we've got the Blathering with Ken tomorrow. I don't know if it's up on YouTube yet. I'm a horrible producer for not knowing that off the top of my head, but it might be up there. It might not be. Who knows? Let's take a look. Let's see. What the fuck? Who cares? We're not in any hurry. If you haven't already, check out Ken's channel, Sports Card ASMR. I'm sure if you're here, you're aware. But if you're not, if you've never been into ASMR, I wasn't. To be honest, Ken's ASMR channel was the first time I like genuinely watched an ASMR channel for like more than like 2 seconds. And because here's the thing, I always thought it was like a sexual thing. I'm gonna be honest. I thought ASMR was like a kink thing. I thought people only did ASMR to like. Jared, don't look at me like that. I thought ASMR was just a thing for chicks on Twitch that like mostly have their tits out and are like rubbing a microphone and like opening Pokemon cards, and like that's their excuse for being, what they're doing. But it's like a whole thing that people, and so I was my mind totally open, and I get it. I'm not, Hey, look, I get it. You sweet summer child. People go to sleep to ASMR. I get it. I was ignorant. I learned. I don't make everything dirty, to be fair. It's more than usual, more than some folks maybe, but not everything, Jamie. And look, I'm not the only one. I kind of had the same thought, not gonna lie. See? It's okay, folks. And it's absolutely because of it's absolutely up to the Catholic upbringing. Yeah, that totally has something. Catholic guilt is real, folks, and it doesn't go away. I haven't been to church since like a wedding in like over a year, and it's been a while. Steve's done takes. Yeah, what are you gonna do, Cal? You're still here. It's been an hour and a half. You're still here. So what are you gonna do? But yeah, that's where we're at. So anyway, housekeeping. I lost my train of thought anyway. Housekeeping. Blathering tomorrow. I'm sure it'll be at 8 o'clock ish, something like that. Ken will post the thing. So check that out for sure. We'll do 16 seconds of sports tomorrow. Hopefully Addie's around for some science. And everyone else who's here. You can see JMB makes a good point. Ken does have a sexy voice when doing those ASMR videos. See, he does the ASMR voice. He kind of, hold on, I'll try to. So, everybody, hold on, I gotta turn off the music because you're gonna hear the. So, everybody, thank you for joining Blathering Backstage ASMR with producer Steve. We're going to do some stuff here where we're gonna open some. I don't have like a pack of cards or anything to open. I wish I had a pack of magic cards behind me to open, but we're gonna see. It's like they do like the kind of like the jazz, like sultry kind of like late night radio voice. So they know what they're doing. Like they're not fooling anybody. But that's okay. It's part of the the airplane pilot is the. All right. Thank you, folks, for joining us today. This is Blathering Backstage with producer Steve. It's gonna be a quick flight tonight. Not gonna be going 3 hours. Just about an hour and a half. So thank you so much. And thanks, Cal. It's the same voice. Thank you for getting the joke, Cal. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you for that. Anyway, we're gonna do the wheel here soon. But for the end of the housekeeping stuff, Blathering tomorrow. Hopefully on Saturday. We'll see if Ken does a Saturday stream. I might do something over the weekend here on Backstage, whether it's Friday or Sunday. So check out for that. Thank you, Donald. I wasn't quite ready for that. I have a thing here on my I have a voice lab here on my. Nope, wrong thing. Go back. On my voice mod here, I have Pilot. Well, let's turn this on. Let's see if this works. Nope. Damn it, it's not gonna work. I give up. We'll try it next time. I'm not ready for that quite yet. I don't have that all set up yet. The laboratory is not even ready for that yet. We need to figure out buttons and shit for that. But I do have a pilot. I do have a pilot voice. So yeah, Blathering tomorrow. Hopefully on Saturday. We'll do a Backstage either Friday or Sunday. I'll try to get a post out earlier than that because, especially for the Friday streams, we'll try to do some fun stuff. I'm going to reach out to some folks and see if we can get even more calls and guests here to co-pilot along. But I love having you guys here. Thank you so much. Again, before we do the wheel, I just want to say thank you to Jared, Cal, Detective McCarsel for calling in and joining us. Thank you everyone who's been watching and hanging out tonight. The chat's been so much fun. Cinder, JMB, Andrew Donald, Yoda. Yoda just laughed. That I hit a sound button. So I'm going to tell you exactly what happened. This is what happens in the laboratory. I have my I'm gonna pull up my top screen here. Hold on. Here we go. We're all about transparency here, folks. So I'm gonna tell you exactly what just happened. So I have my voice mod thing up right here, and you can see the Yoda laugh is just randomly like the thing that is kind of on here. I moved my mouse against my keyboard, and it clicked the Yoda laugh. So yeah, Brady, it freaked me out too, man. It freaked me out too. But was the sound on point? Was it too loud, too little? I see now Jared is like squinting his eyes looking at my soundboard, and now I'm getting totally like self-conscious, so I'm taking that away before he sees. And now he's just gonna go back to the VOD and like pause it and look at it all he wants. So like fucking like he's goddamn CSI. But no, we've got some good stuff on here. We've got the party horn like we used for the NFL picks back in the day. Yep. I've got like fun like movie quotes.
You know I don't speak Spanish. In English, please.
From Anchorman. We've got all sorts of. We got Dun Dun from Law and Order. I'm in danger. We got Ralphie. So fun stuff, and I'm working on putting some of these in here. I got Chewie I think in here too. There we go. I can't do a good Chewie voice, so we've got Chewie. So. There are a lot of times where you could just throw in a Chewie sound and it will work with the situation. So same thing with some R2 beeps, stuff like that. So that's what we're here for. I like kind of playing with the The dun dun is definitely louder with my headphones in. Okay, McCarcel, thank you for that. That's good to know. I can adjust the dun dun. So thank you for that. Oh, and this, I'm gonna find a way to shoehorn this one in at some point. This is because I'm a huge Austin Powers fan.
I don't even know what this is. This sort of thing ain't my bag, baby.
Whenever Ken accuses me of something that's just like totally off base. So anyway, but I also don't want to get in trouble because I still feel bad that Ken's one video with the Return of the King clip got burned, and because Warner Brothers doesn't have enough money, they had to claim Ken's video with like 300 views that has a 30-second clip of Viggo Mortensen and Elijah Wood with no sound. So anyway, I'm not bitter. Anyway, let's go to the wheel, and we're gonna bring back our lo-fi jazz. Oh yeah, we're vibing out. It's fucking hot in here, folks. I noticed after about an hour and a half, the lights that I've got on start to get to me, and that's when. But luckily, the glasses are holding up. We're not fogging up too much. So here we go. Let's get ready with the wheel. I am going to bring back in Detective McCarcel, Cal, and Jared the TIE pilot. If anyone else wants to join for the wheel, this is your last chance. You're not going to get a one-on-one interview like these gentlemen did, but if you want to do some wheel action, get on in here now, because we're about to start. So, fellas, are you ready to come back? All right, seeing some head nods. Love to see it. Just want to say thank you again, everyone who's watching. Thank you again to the guys that are joining us, that called in. You guys are awesome. Everyone is awesome. Love this community. So much fun. And can't wait to keep doing more fun stuff. So let's bring on everyone for the wheel. We're going to do the group discussion with the screen share. Yeah. And there we all are. Hello, everyone. Your mics are hot. We are here. Jared, you're too kind. Love you guys too. Here we go. Let's spin a wheel. You guys want to spin a wheel? Let me get my screen share here set up. You'd think I would have that figured out. There we go. I know, right? I'm fired from my unpaid internship, you bastards.
I know.
Look at that. We're gonna get extra.
Yeah.
All right, so
Happened.
Totally Quinn has a great question. What is that glowing, throbbing thing in the back, Steve? So first of all, Totally, phrasing. Second of all, context. The glowing, throbbing thing behind me, you can't... Well, hold on, boys. I don't want to kick you all out, but I'm going to go to a one-shot, and we'll see what happens. Yeah, I kicked you all out. Piss off. So you can see that one right there that is purple right now. That's BB-8. You can't really see it because my camera's not zoomed in enough, but I have another one to the right of it. You'll sometimes see on Ken's show. That's the Millennium Falcon. They're just those like little LED desktop thingies that just like rotate colors. It's funny you mentioned that because I had someone at work like bitch at me about that for today too. They're like, it looks like there's a portal opening behind you. I'm like, sorry, do you want me to turn it off? Like, okay, whatever. Anyway, back to the show. Anyway, spin that thing. Hell yeah, we're gonna spin that. Who wants to go first? Who's spinning the wheel first? Because I'm gonna pick if someone doesn't volunteer.
I'm right under here. I'll go.
I'll go for Jared.
Jared, okay. Jared voted for himself, and McCarcel voted for Jared. So Jared, you're gonna spin the wheel first.
McCarcel's just jealous because I can climb better boulders.
It's possible. I am aggressively okay at the sport that I love.
Right? Same.
And I haven't made a lot of new things, so if we get top 3 like movie treats or whatever, actually I think I did change one of those, so just deal with it. We'll roll with it. Here we go. Spinning the wheel, Jared.
No whammies, no whammies, no whammies.
Ooh. Sell me and everyone watching something. And you're also going to sell Shady something because I'm going to show Shady camera really quick. Sell me something, Jared.
Well, what you need in your life is a good scotch. Because as Ron Swanson once taught us, that clear liquor is for witch women on diets. And you don't need that in your life. Scotch is the only way to be, because it is the nectar of the gods. Or again, as our Lord and Savior Ron Swanson once said, God's chosen elixir, where it is distilled and prepared for consumption by the sweet men of the Scottish land. What else do you need to know, people? It's Scotch.
Well,
it's a hell of an argument.
Wait a minute, Jared, I I do remember that quote from Parks and Rec, and I am a Sky vodka drinker. Dun, dun. So, do I classify?
As a white woman on a diet, yeah, Cal.
Yeah,
That's
I also
yes,
drink gin. I also drink gin. I like Bombay Sapphire gin.
Jared.
So, okay.
This
I
just
do like
unlocked a
gin.
new. Hold on. This just unlocked a new fantasy. And Cal,
Oh,
don't take this the
Jesus.
wrong way. Don't take this the wrong way. And when I say fantasy, I mean like for like a fun D&D scenario.
Sure.
Imagine we got Cal to play D&D, but his character archetype was a rich white girl on a diet in some way. Like Cal had to play the rich white girl on a diet, and like she's like a healer of some kind. Cal, that's Cal's job on the part. That would, oh man, that would be so.
Gets too drunk at the tavern, smokes the cigarettes backwards.
Because Cal, I think you'd be so good at it. That's what makes it funny.
See, knowing rich white girls on a diet,
Yeah.
throughout my life, I think I could portray one very well.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, man. I have all the faith in the world in you. That'd be amazing. All right, I'm also writing that down for our D&D campaign. Not that we can't like.
I'm never going to play
Anyway.
D&D if that's what you're trying to get.
That's okay.
Come on.
Hey, Cal, it's okay. But you might come in for a guest spot one time. You might call in for a guest spot one time for a one show. Like, oh, he's just he's a character who showed up for one thing. Yeah, I see you nodding your head. Yeah, see, this is what we do here. This is what we do here.
We'll bully you
All right.
into it.
All right.
You can bully me in anything, but you cannot make me commit.
No commitment. We're not about Cal. The backstage is not about commitments. The backstage is about buffoonery and silliness. Anyway, folks, we're gonna wrap up here pretty soon. I'm definitely gonna end before midnight. I got a Rocket League tournament to get to. We're gonna go to our next. We're gonna go to our next wheel spin. Cal, you are up on the wheel, sir. Are you ready?
Sure.
That was not enthusiastic enough, but okay.
Oh, what do you got? What I don't even know what.
We're all distracted by Detective McCarthy's beautiful hair.
No, Cal,
Abby.
you have to sell me something
Let's get a
now.
respin.
We want to. Do we want to respin? We're voting for a respin. All right, I'm just gonna remove it from the board then. I'll remove it from the board. I'll remove it from the board. Here we go. I thought maybe we would like it. It's okay.
I can't tell you how to be safe.
What are you playing, Cal?
What
You
do
playing
you
any
mean?
video games?
Oh, is that what's coming up?
That's the category.
Actually, I'll tell you what. Let me tell you. I downloaded that Schedule 1 when it was hot. I think it was in March. Everybody's playing Schedule 1, the drug dealing game.
Yes. Yeah, that's Cal. That is on my list of games to play on stream.
Yeah, I downloaded it, played it for a while. It's pretty good. It's fun. It's whatever. It reminds me of back in the day. We had this game called Drug Wars. It was just straight up. Lazy Bolt. It was like a Commodore 64. It was a DOS game. It was like a DOS game, but it was great. The way it was prompted. You could.
It was a word prompt game.
Yeah, you could buy drugs, sell drugs. You kept your money.
That is amazing.
You could rob people. You could do all kinds of stuff. But it was like we played it on like Apple IIs and shit.
Right. I'm imagining the game from the movie Big that Tom Hanks and his buddy are playing, where it's like cast. He's typing in like cast fireball and everything like that. Like you're cast. Roll 10 joints, set price at. You know what I mean? Like that's what you're typing into the thing.
Well, you didn't. You tag up individual dope stuff like that.
Okay, good. Good clarification.
Stuff and you like sold it. It was because it was all text based.
Right, of course. Right. No, I understand. Yeah.
It was a different way of selling drug stuff. Anyway, it was a cool game. But I played Schedule 1, and Schedule 1 was all right. It's pretty much Dope Wars. That was Dope Wars, and that was Drug Wars. Because one of course, when one got popular, I think Drug Wars was the main one. And then it got popular, and then somebody copied it, made Dope. But it's mainly, but Schedule 1 is pretty much that put into an avatar situation. It's not that it's different from GTA, but it's more live. But anyway, but I played it. I thought it was cool. It's all right. It cost me $20, whatever. But I've been playing. I've been playing Jedi Fallen Order, and it's been pretty good on PS4. I don't have a PS5. I do plan on getting one at some point, probably when they make a PS6 or some cheap pack. But But I've been playing, and it's a great game. I like it. I wish
Love
there was
Fallen
more
Order.
lightsaber action in it. And then I heard that there was like survivors and stuff. It doesn't hurt that the lead character's name is Cal. I mean, come on.
There
But
you
anyway,
go. Right? Right?
but yeah, so there you go. That's what I've been playing. Oh, I've been playing this fishing simulator too, which is pretty cool.
Fishing simulator.
Yeah, I think it's called Fishing Planet. It's a pretty popular one. Everybody knows
I would
it.
have to be so goddamn high to enjoy playing Fishing
I do
Simulator.
get how I play it. Steve, I
Yeah.
do get how I play it.
Oh my god, I'd have to be fucking zooted to actually enjoy just being there. Like, all right, here we.
Well,
I got
well,
one. Like, here we go. Like,
why is it-
and it's
why-
like quick time events to like catch the fish. Like, how do you?
No, you have actual mechanics. You use your controller and stuff. I played through Steam with my controller.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, it feels cool. But here's the thing, though, Steve. When I go to the Holston River, well, the one spot I like to go to, I can't always go to. That's why I always keep a fishing rod in my trunk, my car, because I never know. Because most of the time, especially at this time during this time of year, it's overrun with a bunch of people, and I don't like to go down there and try to fish. I like to be alone. You see what I'm saying?
I'm with you.
I don't-
Right. Yeah.
I don't go
I don't
on
want people to
most of
watch
the
me fish. Yeah.
I fish off on the shore of the river. I don't go on. Anyway,
I don't need people to
That's
see how
fine.
much of a whoosh I am when I'm trying to take the fish off the hook. I don't need people to see me like putting my foot on the fish and like trying to avoid touching as much as I possibly can. Yeah, no one needs to see that. No one needs to see that.
Oh lordy.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, good one. Well, thank you, Cal. That's a good little repertoire of what you're playing
I was
there.
gonna say that was an interesting list of video games. Why is it that I can also picture Cal in the '90s playing Leisure Suit Larry?
Because he is Leisure Suit Larry.
I did play it, but
I'm glad everybody got that.
heard of it, but I never played it. That was
Of
another one.
course.
Remember Night Trap? Night Trap? Anyway. All right, I'm going
Anyway, all right. No, I just want to say here though, thank you everyone who's still watching. We're gonna be wrapping up here soon, but I do want to plug Laserbolt here. Of course, you have a good VR fishing setup, Laserbolt. That doesn't surprise me one bit. But if you are at all interested in flight sim or watching people do flight sim, Microsoft Flight Simulator, I enjoy Flight Simulator. I don't have my setup set up right now, but I've done a lot of flight sim stuff in my gaming past. I love it. Check out Laserbolt's channel. They do Friday night flights. I love tuning that in when I'm just playing games or doing shit on a Friday night, late night after I'm winding down. He hangs out with his buddies. They just shoot the shit and fly cool looking planes, and they talk about the planes and talk about where they're going, and it's a cool hang, man. So check out Laserbolt, support our boy, and subscribe to his channel for sure. He just recently, I think, got over one of his milestones. I think, what was it, like over 1,000 subscribers or 4,000, whatever it was, in his watch hours, whatever it is. The community's helping him out, and that's what we're all about here. So happy to see that. And Laserbolt, yes, I'm going to join you at some point. I have Flight Simmers 24, so I will get that shit set up, and we'll do a flight sometime, and we'll do like a co-stream or something. We'll do some interviews from the air. That'll be fun. Jared, do you want me to interview you from 30,000 feet and like a Boeing? Actually, no, I can't fly the big planes. I can only fly the little planes. So we'll be at like 15,000 feet in like a shitty little Cessna, but it'll be a good time. It'll be a good time. Anyway, here we go. So, Cal, you spun the wheel. You told me what you're playing. Detective, are you ready to spin the wheel?
Let's go. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay, this one's a little bit of a wild card. The last time you blank. So, if there's an interesting thing that you want to share that happened the last time you did something that is either like unique or maybe controversial, or if someone in the chat has a suggestion that they want to know, where they would say, JMB might fill in and be like, the last time you did blank, or the last time something happened. Do you have any interesting stories you want to share?
I don't know. I'm open to suggestions from the gang.
The last time you cut your hair.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean-
there you go. Boom.
Are we talking like a big cut? Because I get it trimmed every like 6
Oh, yeah, no.
months.
Trims don't count. Yeah, no, we're talking lifestyle change cuts. Yeah.
I've consistently grown out my hair since like middle school, so I was like 11-ish the first time I tried to start growing my hair out.
Okay.
And then by the end of high school, it was long enough that I could actually like sit on my hair if I like tilted my head back a little bit.
Oh shit.
And then
okay.
So the first time I cut it after that was the first semester of college. So that was fall 2011.
Okay.
And my grandmother bribed me in front of my girlfriend at the time. She offered me like $500. So like broke college kid, a lot of fucking money, especially in 2011. So I didn't have much of a choice at that point. So I had to cut it, and it was like short, like my bangs were about like here. So very regular looking haircut.
Right.
And after that, I kind of let it grow a little bit, and then by 2014, it was about right here again. And then I went through a lot of life changes, and my grandmother offered me a similar deal because she just really, I can't stress how much she hates that I have long hair and tattoos. She will tell me I'm her only grandson.
Oh, grandma.
So she will continue to support me, but she will tell me how ugly tattoos are every opportunity she gets.
Oh, so grandma, no.
So 2020, like it was like late 2014, early 2015, she paid me to do it again. And so did that. And then, sorry, gang, let me take a phone call. Sorry.
Oh, no, you're good,
I'll
Detective.
probably have to dip.
No, you're good. We're gonna wrap up here soon, but that was good. That was a good question, Jared. I appreciate you. I appreciate you filling in there. That was good. That was good producing by you. That was a good question, especially for us long hair folk. I started growing this at the beginning of COVID, and it's been trimmed since, so it would be way longer than it is. But I didn't have like long hair for forever, my whole life.
That's what we need to do, Steve. I need to, because I know I've got pictures of me. I need to find shaved Jared with long hair, and we need Steve with shaved and short hair pictures.
Okay. Yeah. Well, here I can.
Oh God, he's got one handy.
I do.
A picture of Steve
right,
with short hair. I can't.
I don't want to show you a picture of my wife. My wife is in this picture, so I'm going to cover her.
Cover up.
I am. So we're going to see how this looks. So I went to, again, I've told the story a little bit. I went to
any other way, Steve.
I went to. Am I going to ruin this for you, Cal? You promise you're still going to like me after this, right?
I don't know.
Oh, that's not reassuring. So I went to Star Wars Celebration 2019. That's where I saw Ken for the first time. I went to that Force Center recording. Me and my wife were there for 3 or 4 days, whatever. We did a couple of cosplays, and one of our cosplays was Detective. I see you back. If you want to come hang, just give me a thumbs up. All right, cool. One of the cosplays we did was I did a day as Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan, and she did Padme. It was like Attack of the Clones Padme. We weren't trying to like match too much. We just did characters we thought were cool, right? So I'm going to cover her up, but this was us in the Millennium Falcon exhibit taking a picture, and this is me with short hair as Obi-Wan Kenobi, trying to do my best. Like, again, I don't have the right hair color, but you guys are going to hate me for this.
Come on.
Oh, I'm definitely jealous of the costume overall. I can see it. Well, oh my God. Love it.
I mean, my wife's definitely in there, but whatever. We're covering up the best we can. So, and then I have another one that might be better.
I can at least give the extreme end of my story when you're done.
Okay. And then this is me with Freddie Prinze Jr. and Sam Witwer and my wife.
Nice.
And short hair. That's a better picture. There you go. That's me with short hair.
Wow.
Oh yeah. You
are
know what?
And by the way, Freddie Prinze Jr. looks high as fuck in this picture.
Because he
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know the guy, but
you think he was?
He looks blaze as shit.
He most likely was. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it's gonna say.
You know what, Steve? Do you know? You might know. Do you know who Hector Navarro is?
I do. Great story.
Look like him.
Hector Navarro liked one of my Blue Sky posts last week, and it made me like so freaking happy. I was like so proud of myself.
Which one? What did you say? Something or something? What did you say?
It was about one of the shows or something. I don't.
Really?
I might be found. Yeah. But he liked it. I was like super proud of myself.
I didn't see that.
I was very proud of myself. It's like, oh, that's sweet.
No, I did not see that. But that's funny though, because you kind of look like him in that picture that you just.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
Anyway,
It's a long time ago. That was, man, 6 years ago. Man, that was so much fun. Celebration 2019 was one of the most fun weekends that me and my wife had as far as trips go. That was a good time.
Still haven't
It was
got
the best time I've had in Chicago.
Eternally jealous.
Yeah, one day
was
I'll
a good
get to a
time.
celebration.
I think that is the way to do BlatherCon, is to tie it with a celebration. You know what I mean? Just like piggyback off of a celebration weekend and just do it in a sad Motel 8 conventions like ballroom.
Nah,
You know what I mean?
At least, it's got to be.
This-
Ben's not gonna not let it be at a hotel bar. I feel
Right.
like-
Well, no, you go to the right. Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Michael's right, but I think Ken would like it in the spot, like maybe somewhere in LA at one.
Right. Well,
comedy clubs.
2027 celebration is in LA.
I would.
I'm gonna do my best to be there. So
I would rather not be alive than go to LA for Star Wars Celebration. That sounds
It's-
like my worst nightmare.
it's 50 years. We're gonna have like
I know,
movie
but-
announcements. You know what I mean? Like I'll suck it up. I'll
It's
suck it up.
LA, the crowds, the traffic, the everything.
I get
heard
it.
about.
I know,
LA in general.
I totally get it. It's also an excuse. My wife's never been to the West Coast, so that I'm going to use that as my excuse for like, hey, here's our first excuse to go out there. We'll do Disney. We'll do all that kind of stuff. So
my excuse to go to
yeah,
the
we'll
West
see.
Coast is like Washington and
Yeah,
Oregon.
Oh,
same.
That's where
Totally
that's
agree.
where I'm going to be able to get, because that's where me and my fiance are trying to go eventually, to South Louisiana.
Totally agree.
It's a fucking nightmare. Don't recommend. Don't recommend it at all. Been to the East Coast. It's fine.
we live in a good time zone over here.
I
live in a good
I say
time.
I've been to the East Coast. I've been to Disney World twice, and I've been to
Yeah.
Jacksonville one time. And Jacksonville kind of sucks too. So, so what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
Wait, the East Coast does not claim Florida. Florida's cut off
that's-
from all of it.
Hey,
That's-
I wish I could also say the South doesn't claim Florida, but
Well, I wish I
I
could
don't-
too.
I don't
It
think
is
Florida claims Florida.
I think
Parts
Florida
of it. Parts
is a
of it.
sovereign state. Anyway,
no,
I
I
don't.
feel like Texas has. the
Careful,
market on
careful,
South
Cal. We might
State.
get put on.
I thought about it when I said it. While I was saying,
I was
It's
like,
okay.
Also, that's Texas's thing, being a sovereign state. It's
yeah, that's true too.
I agree with Laser Bowl here. I think Star Wars Celebration in Vegas would be cool. That would be a
Never-
great.
See, Vegas is another
See,
one
no.
where I'm just like,
No, we need
Oh,
celebration.
I like
that's
Vegas.
good.
I
I'm
like
good.
Vegas.
don't
I
know
like
the guys
Vegas.
I
I was the cliche guy who I had my bachelor party in Vegas.
Ooh.
And so that was
God.
it was a good time.
You
Oh, it
were
was a
that
good
guy.
time.
You
We'll,
didn't
we'll
kill
tell
us.
that. We'll tell that story another time on a different backstage. But
I wanna
want
hear that story.
Be a very
will.
specific thing, and it's not that.
no, it was a good. It was around the NCAA basketball tournament. So it was, it's a big betting thing. Like there's 4 days of just gambling on basketball games that were going on all day.
So
So-
right up your alley.
So
Oh
yeah,
yeah, it was
say,
great. Oh yeah. It was,
Well,
my
So, Steve,
degenerate
we
self
brought-
wasn't having
We
boys.
brought you here to talk about your gambling addiction.
Is that what this all the gambling and the drinking? Yeah, this whole community
mean-
thinks I am a total degenerate, and that's fair. But
In all
I promise
fairness,
I'm
No.
not.
your entire
Promise
bit
I'm
here
not.
started with sports gambling.
That's true. That is no. The top fives was the beginning of the bits. I called in with top fives originally, and then when
Yeah.
football
Yeah,
season
but-
started, I translated that into the because I totally ran out of top five ideas. I was like, shit, I don't know. I'm running out of gas on this bit, so we went to football picks because that was a well I could go to every week. I figured it out. But boys, Cal, go ahead, wrap us up, Cal. Go wrap us up. I got a Rocket League tournament in 4 minutes, Cal.
I just want to know: are you going? Anyway, I just want to know: did you? You did not partake in any of the? Not that you fucked the stripper, but did any stripper action happen when you was in
Yes.
Vegas on your back?
Yes, here's our tease for the next backstage, Cal. Yes, and she was extremely racist.
What towards
Yep.
you?
I'm not going to elaborate any further right now. She told me a lot of things. She told me a lot of things, a lot of prices for a lot of things that I didn't ask for. Her name was Fantasy with a PH. She said with a PH. I didn't ask for that part. She just said with a PH. I mistakenly asked for her name. That probably shouldn't have done that. She was extremely racist. And yeah, that's a good story there. Sorry for the mic, but we'll tell that next time. We don't have time for that tonight.
I'm
That's,
holding
a
you
that's what
to
we call a
this.
tease in the biz, Cal.
Steve.
Hang
You know
on,
I'm
hang
going to
on.
hold you to this.
I know you will. Go ahead, Jared.
No. Next time, Laser, Don't be hiding in the chat next time. You got to call in about Germans, cars, and driving.
Right.
Yes, I do have that note.
Oh,
Yes,
oh.
I have that note. Hold on. Yeah, I have a quote for that, Jared. That's how we're gonna end. Damn it, where is that?
Laserbolt ain't no stranger to the Blathering. He knows. He's been on before. You can come on backstage, son.
Yes, he absolutely can. Laserbolt, Raiders, Germans, car, drive-in. That means something to Laserbolt. He's going to give us context on one of these next few shows. So, yes. And, yeah, flight simulator interviews might be a thing we do. So
While we calling people out, JMB, where you at? JMB, I see you all over internet, son. I see you on more channels than this one. Where you
this
at?
is the Backstage is the perfect place to hone your call-in skills so that you don't feel nervous when you call in to Ken. All right, boys, thank you so much. Jared, Cal, Detective McCarcel, you're the best. Thank you so much. Hope to talk to you very soon and hope to see you tomorrow. All right, take care, boys.
Yep.
Hey.
Brother.
All right, thank you everyone for joining us this evening on the Backstage. That is going to do it for Steve's Laboratory on Wednesday night. We had a lot of fun. We went longer than I expected, but I have a Rocket League tournament I need to play in less than 2 minutes, and the boys are going to be mad if I don't make it. So I am on my way. Hope to see you all on the Blathering tomorrow. Subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to Ken's channel. Follow producer Steve on Blue Sky. Follow Ken on Blue Sky. You know, all that stuff. There's links. There's shit. Subscribe to stuff. Do the YouTube thing. Help us out. Leave a comment. Like the video if you haven't. You guys are awesome. Love the community. Take care. Peace out.